On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu pledges inclusive growth, improved security in 2026. In business, Naira ends 2025 stronger at official markets. On the foreign scene, fire kills several people at Swiss ski resort bar. And in sport, Chelsea part way with Maresca after poor league run. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. And now, the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that 2026 will mark the beginning of a robust economic growth as his administration's reform mature, with plans to bring at least 10 million people into productive economic activities nationwide. In his New Year message, the president said the growth would be driven by the Renewed Hope Ward Development Program, which aims to empower no fewer than 1,000 people in each of Nigeria's 8,809 wards, alongside continued implementation of tax reforms to strengthen fiscal stability. However, while reiterating that reforms are difficult but necessary, the president did not provide specific details on how the ambitious targets would be achieved. In the meantime, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has expressed confidence that 2026 will be a year of renewed hope and steady national progress anchored on strong institutions and legislative responsibility. In his New Year message, Akpabio stated that the National Assembly would continue to provide legislative support, exercise oversight, and act in the best interest of national unity, economic stability, and social justice. He also cautioned Nigerians against divisive politics ahead of the 2027 elections, saying that democracy thrives on accountability, ideas, and respect for national unity rather than false messianic narratives. In the same vein, Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin and his deputy Benjamin Kalu have urged Nigerians to remain hopeful and united as the country steps into 2026. In a separate New Year message, the lawmakers commended Nigerians for their resilience in 2025 and acknowledged progress recorded in governance and security despite lingering challenges. They reaffirmed the House's commitment to passing people-centered laws that promote economic stability, inclusiveness, and national development in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has vowed to intensify engagement with government at all levels in 2026 to push for an urgent review of workers' wages amidst rising inflation and economic hardship. In a New Year message signed by its president, Joe Ajero, the NLC said it would support government and political actors with clear pro-people policies and actionable commitment to improve living standards. The Labour body also stressed that security remains a fundamental right, urging authorities to build on recent gains to guarantee the safety of lives and properties. In the meantime, a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has cleared the federal government to proceed with the implementation of the new tax regime scheduled to commence today, January 1st. Justice Bello Kawu dismissed a suit seeking to halt the rollout, ruling that the application failed to show that the tax laws would cause irreparable harm or violate constitutional provisions. The court held that the fiscal policy falls within the lawful powers of government, adding that any perceived error in the laws must be addressed through legislative amendment or a valid court order. Now, with the dawn of New Year, millions of people around the world are setting goals, reflecting on the past and striving for personal growth. But as we step into the future, are our resolutions changing? Are they evolving with technology, social trends, and collective mindsets. Our correspondent Sadia Yakubu has more.
Across the globe, New Year's resolutions have traditionally centered on fitness, career goals, and personal happiness. But as we enter 2026, a new set of priorities is emerging.
My expectations should be, I'm expected to accomplish my goals. One of my goals is to train children, to help them become what I didn't become.
As technology continues to shape our daily lives, another resolution taking center stage is digital well-being. In 2026, many are looking to reclaim their time, focusing on unplugging from devices and setting boundaries with social media.
My New Year resolutions, as you can see, is to be happy with my family and to be a good citizen to Nigeria.
While some are trying to avoid technology, others are using it to help them achieve their goals. From AI-powered fitness app to visual health coaches, 2026 is bringing us a new tools to achieve personal growth. But is tech making it easier or harder to stick to our resolutions?
I want my prayer life to be very strong because I was not really prayerful in 2025. So in 2026, I want to be very prayerful.
As we look ahead to 2026, it is clear that New Year's resolutions are no longer just about personal goals. They reflect a growing awareness of global realities, from sustainability and digital balance to mindfulness and gratitude. People are setting intentions that align personal growth with a healthier, more conscious world. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has assured residents of sustained peace and economic growth in 2026 as he outlines key priorities in his New Year message to the people of Imo State. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe has details.
Governor Hope Uzodinma says Imo State entered the new year with a clear roadmap anchored on the 1.4 trillion budget of economic breakthrough aimed at driving growth in power, healthcare, agriculture, education, and food security.
As we enter 2026, we do so with a clear roadmap in our 1.4 trillion budget of economic breakthrough. Our target is to resolutely pursue growth in power, growth in the health sector, in agriculture, education, and food security.
The governor describes 2026 as a year when the state's long-term investments and foundations will begin to yield tangible results for citizens. He knows that while peace and tranquility now prevails across the state, sustaining security remains a collective responsibility, urging residents to remain vigilant against those opposed to the state's progress.
For us in Imo State, 2026 is the year our foundations will yield a massive harvest. However, as we enjoy the peace and tranquility that now pervades our landscape, we must work consciously to sustain it. We must not lose sight of the fact that there are still those who are unhappy with the progress of our state.
Uzodinma also expresses delight at the return of Imo sons and daughters from across the globe during the festive season. He commended President Bola Tinubu for economic reforms that have begun to stabilize fuel and food prices, providing relief to citizens and enabling states to mobilize more resources for development. From Government House Annex Olo, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Let's move away from the New Year celebration and turn our attention to security, where Nigeria's armed forces have intensified efforts to address evolving security threats across the country, as troops continue to record major operational gains against terrorism, insurgency, kidnapping, oil theft, and other criminal activities. This was stated by Director of Defense Media Operation, Major General Michael Onoja, during a high-level defense briefing in Abuja. Defense correspondent Kikelomo Okere has details.
The military authorities reviewed the current threat environment, interagency collaboration, the resilience and professionalism of troops confronting complex and asymmetric security challenges nationwide in the year 2025. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, the review is aimed at strengthening strategic decision-making, improving operational effectiveness, and setting clear security priorities for the coming year. The military emphasized that its core mandate remains the protection of citizens and personnel, while also keeping the public informed about the ongoing operations and achievements across the theaters. Within the period under review, troops, in collaboration with other security stakeholders, neutralized several top terrorist commanders, their lieutenants, and foot soldiers. In addition, 4,375 suspected criminals were arrested, while 1,616 terrorists surrendered along with their families. The military also confirmed the successful rescue of 2,336 kidnapped victims across different operational zones.
Now, we also arrested 1,323 suspects alongside their collaborators, gun runners, sympathizers, and 1,616 terrorists surrendered to troops in the Operation Hadinkai area, while 498 kidnapped hostages were rescued. Troops also recovered various arms, ammunition, vehicles, equipment, and a cumulative sum of 32 million naira in cash.
In the Niger Delta region, the director reveals that troops under Operation Delta Safe intensify action against oil theft and pipeline vandalism, significantly disrupting illegal activities and contributing to efforts aimed at boosting Nigerian crude oil production and safeguarding national assets. The briefing also provided an operational update on the 6th Defense Headquarters Joint Task Force in the Northeast, Operation Hadinkai, covering Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe State, continued to maintain relative stability in the region. The military, however, acknowledged that the remnants of Boko Haram and the Islamic State West African province still pose threats through isolated attacks, use of improvised explosive devices, and remote operations targeting civilians and security forces.
Neutralized several criminal elements, arrested 778 criminals and their cohorts, and rescued 53 kidnapped victims. They also foiled oil thefts valued at 8,918,647,206 naira, representing 16,623,542 liters of crude oil.
Despite recorded successes, including arrests, rescues, and neutralization of armed groups, security challenges persist, underscoring the need for sustained military pressure, improved intelligence, and stronger civil-military cooperation. As the year 2025 draws to a close, the Armed Forces says operation will continue with renewed focus on protecting lives, securing communities, as well as strengthening national stability. From Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has presented its 2025 budget estimate to the House of Representatives Committee on NDDC, unveiling a 1.75 trillion naira proposal focused on consolidation, accountability, and sustained development across the Niger Delta region. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
At the House Committee hearing in Abuja, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Oboku, appeared before lawmakers to give an account of the Commission's 2024 performance and outline priorities for the coming year. Dr. Oboku described the NDDC as a critical vehicle for delivering federal government development initiatives to the Niger Delta, stressing that the 2024 budget presents a clear shift from what he called transactional spending to a transformational development model. According to the NDDC Managing Director, the 2025 budget is designed to be people-centered, participatory, and aligned with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government.
I think We will definitely deepen stakeholders' engagement in different aspects, both in the area of youth, women, and also even entrepreneurs in the region. We have carried out such engagements in the past, but for the honorable member to say we should deepen it, it is also well taken. We are going to carry out other engagements.
On budget performance, the Commission disclosed that its 2024 budget of renewed hope projected a revenue of 1.91 trillion naira, but recorded an actual inflow of 1.945 trillion naira as of October 31st, following the extension of the budget cycle to December 2025. For 2025, the proposed 1.75 trillion naira budget-themed budget of consolidation represents a 9% reduction from 2024, reflecting a no-borrowing policy and tighter fiscal discipline.
As of October 31st, 2025, the Commission's actual revenue stood at 1.985 trillion, exceeding the target of 1.911 trillion for April 2024 September 2025 by 104%.
The House Committee Chairman, Erikate Ibori Senu, and members assured the Commission of legislative support while emphasizing the need for transparency, accountability, and value for money to ensure that budgetary allocations translate into tangible benefits for the Niger Delta communities.
For our communities, this budget represents hope, opportunity, and the promise of a better quality life.
The House Committee is expected to submit the proposal to further scrutiny before approval as stakeholders look to the 2025 budget to address long-standing development gaps in the Niger Delta. From the National Assembly, Anie Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has signed into law the 2026 appropriation bill, estimated at about 1.4 trillion naira, describing it as a product of strong collaboration between the executive and the legislature. The signing ceremony was held at the new government annex, Olu. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe has details.
Governor Uzodinma accessed the bill days after its passage by the Imo State House of Assembly, completing the constitutional process of checks and balance. Governor Uzodinma says the transition of the budget from estimates to law reflects democratic strength and commended the lawmakers for their diligence. He described the budget of economic breakthrough as ambitious, noting government's commitment to revenue generation, completion of ongoing projects, and sustained infrastructure development across the state.
So as a government, we work to generate the revenue and not spend the revenue. And you can see how ambitious this year's budget is. A signal that we must fasten our seatbelts to look for the money so we can spend the money for the people. So all the projects that are ongoing, critical projects in Imo State, we have no plan to leave anyone uncompleted before the end of our tenure.
Governor adds that the budget will boost small and medium-scale enterprises, attract investments, and strengthen revenue-generating agency. He thanked the president for providing the funds for states.
So these are the kind of things I want us to take note. And this budget is very comprehensive and detailed. This budget has taken care of, if well implemented, both the small and medium enterprises, local and foreign investors, and all the revenue generating agencies will have an environment to operate. This is the whole idea why it is called Budget of Economic Breakthrough. By the end of
the signing of the 2026 budget set the stage for a new fiscal year, with the state government expressing confidence that it will deliver measurable benefits to Imo residents. From the Government House Annex Olu, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Passengers have been confirmed dead and 4 others rescued after a passenger boat capsized along the Niger-Dock axis of Igbelogun Water Channel in Lagos State. The Lagos State Waterways Authority and the National Inland Waterways Authority said the Savvy marine boat, which was traveling from Ilashe Beach, ran into trouble around 8:35 p.m., prompting an immediate search and rescue operation. Preliminary findings suggest that the incident may have been caused by a collision with a submerged object as investigations continue. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, fire kills several people at Swiss Ski Resort Bar. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break, and now to business news, where the Naira closed 2025 stronger against the US dollars at the official Forex market, trading at 1,435.75. Central Bank of Nigeria data showed the currency gained 9.93, reflecting improved liquidity and increased confidence driven by seasonal inflows. Market analysts said the gains capped a positive festive period and signaled cautious optimism for early trading in 2026. Still talking business, the Nigerian Exchange Limited recorded a 36.46 trillion naira increase in market capitalization in 2025, reflecting renewed investor confidence in the equities market. Market capitalization rose from 62.92 trillion naira at the start of the year to 99.2 trillion naira at the close of the latest trading session, supported by steady gains in the all-share index. Now, despite a decline in daily trading activity, analysts say the performance underscores sustained interest in Nigerian equities. And now to newsmaking rounds on the foreign scene. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said his country is 10% away from reaching a peace deal with Russia, but warned that critical issues remain unsolved. In his New Year message, Zelensky stressed that Ukraine seeks peace, but not at the cost of rewarding Russian aggression, insisting on strong security guarantees. He also rejected Russia's demand for full control of eastern Ukraine, saying Moscow would likely push even further after concession. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has called Israel's recognition of Somaliland illegitimate and unacceptable as he hosted a visit by his Somali counterpart. At a joint press conference following bilateral talks, both Erdogan and Somali's President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud condemned the recognition of Somaliland as an independent state by Israel, with Turkey pledging to stand by the Somali people. Over to Uyi Agbomofuegbe for details.
Israel sparked criticism last Friday when it said it was officially recognizing Somaliland, a breakaway territory in Somalia's north. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar defended the decision to recognize Somaliland. The declaration was a first for the territory, which in 1991 had unilaterally declared secession from Somalia.
Strongly rejected Prime Minister Netanyahu's illegal aggression in recognizing part of Somalia's northern regions as an independent state. This aggression and the blatant meddling constitute a clear violation of the international law, the Charter of the United Nations, the Constitutive Act of the African Union, and all established diplomatic norms.
Turkey, a close ally of Somalia, has frequently clashed with Israel over a range of issues, especially the conflict in Gaza and Israeli obstruction of aid to the Palestinian territory. He called Netanyahu's Somaliland declarations violation of international law and the start of insecurity and instability, especially for Somalia and the African region. Uyi Agbomofuegbe reporting for Global TV News.
Swiss police say several people have been killed in a fire that broke out at a bar in the Swiss ski resort at Crans, Montana. The fire started in the early hours at a venue known as La Constellation, with the cause still under investigation amidst report of a possible explosion. Emergency services remain on site as authorities work to confirm the number of casualties, while a helpline has been opened for concerned families. And now talking sports, Chelsea have confirmed the departure of manager Enzo Maresca following a run of 1 win in 7 Premier League matches that left the club 5th on the table. The decision follows growing fan unrest and a breakdown in relationship between the 45-year-old coach and the club's hierarchy, with sources citing internal disagreement and public dissent over the ownership and squad planning. Maresca, who joined in July 2024 and led Chelsea back to the Champions League while winning the Conference League and the Club World Cup, leaves ahead of Sunday's clash with Manchester City. Still talking sports, Nigeria Super Eagles will face Mozambique in the round of 16 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations as they continue their quest for a 4th continental title. The Eagles topped their group with maximum points after victories over Tanzania, Tunisia and Uganda, while Mozambique qualified as one of the best 3rd-place teams. The encounter, scheduled for January 5 in Fez, will be a rematch of their 2010 clash, with the winner set to face either Algeria or DR Congo in the finals. Away from football, former heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua has been discharged from the hospital following an injury he sustained in a recent road accident. A joint statement by the Lagos and Ogun State officials said the boxer has been declared clinically fit and will continue his recovery at home. The statement noted that Joshua remains deeply affected by the loss of 2 close friends in the crash and expressed appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for his support. Now, as Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, we brought to you that President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that 2026 will mark the beginning of robust economic growth as his administration's reforms mature, with plans to bring at least 10 million people into productive economic activities nationwide. In business, the Naira closed 2025 stronger against the United States dollar at the official Forex market, trading at 1,435 Naira to a dollar. On the foreign scene, we brought to you that Swiss police say several people have been killed in a fire that broke out at a bar in Swiss ski resort of Crans, Montana. And in the world of sport, you heard that Chelsea have confirmed the departure of manager Enzo Maresca following a run of 1 win in 7 Premier League matches that left the club 5th on the table. That's it on News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms, now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.